This is the second video of the minuet for minor decliner, and this is the bass part. Okay, so we're starting on a G, and this is the first 8 bars. Okay, so it goes, I'll count so you get an idea of the rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we've got G, A, G, E, E, D, rest, rest, G, A, G, E, C, D, G, and you do that twice. The next section, it lies very much under the fingers in that hand position. The next section, you need to just go up to that B and move your finger so that you've got the next note set up. So I'll count first. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So you've got a B, then an E, then an A, then a D, that's a circle of fourths, then a G, then another D, E, G, E, C, D, G. Okay, going on to the trio, you've got D, 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 A, 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 D, 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 E, A, A, D. And then last section starts on an A down here. 1, 2, 3. A, rest, C sharp, D, rest, rest, E, rest, E, A, rest, D, 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 C sharp, C sharp, C sharp, C sharp, C sharp, C sharp, D, 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 E, E, A, D. And each of those sections is repeated. You've got double bar lines with dots, that means it's repeated, and it's a minuetto da capo, so you would then go back to the beginning.